Hey guys, Darren Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Today we are very, very excited to have another one of our Prostaff with us. He fishes the Bassmaster Elite Series. He's going into his 11th season fishing the Bassmaster Elite Series. He was the 2012 Bassmaster Rookie of the Year. He's qualified for 4 Bassmaster Classics. He's originally from Kentucky. Now he lives in North Carolina. We're very, very excited to have Mr. Brandon Card, so we're going to bring him in a minute. Before we get started, we want to say thank you to all of our subscribers to our YouTube page and everyone that's been following our content and all of our loyal customers to Revital Outdoors. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube page. That way you get notified when all of our podcasts and content is dropping, and we've got a lot of great stuff coming in the future. So that being said, let's go ahead and get to this podcast. Let's bring him in. Mr. Brandon Card, how you doing, buddy?
Good, buddy. How's it going?
I'm doing great. Man, you've had a busy off season. I saw you just got your brand new Vexus and got it broke in, got it wrapped. Tell us about your off season.
Yeah, it's been crazy. My wife and I, we had our first baby boy in September. So, that was really exciting, obviously life-changing. It's been really, really cool just learning how to be a dad. And I'm thankful that it happened during the off season, because if this would have happened, during the middle of the season, man, talking about stressful. I don't know how those guys do it when they have a kid during the middle of the season. So that was in September. I had my annual college and high school event. That was in December, and then we got a new boat coming. And I'm leaving Friday for to kick off the 2022 Elite Series down at the St. Johns River. And then the next week we'll be on the Harris Chain. So it's just been kind of a whirlwind, to say the least, since we stopped fishing back in July, I guess, is when we had our last Elite event. So it sounds like a long time ago, but this off season has flown by for sure.
Yeah, you guys have been busy. I'm very happy, and congratulations to you and Kelly welcoming your new baby boy into the world. That's awesome. It's awesome to see you got a fishing buddy. And, always your high school and college event, I still think is one of the best high school and college fishing events that are held every year. I know a lot of Elite Series anglers and professional anglers put them on, but yours always seems to bring a great crowd, and the kids always seem very, very excited. So, yeah, man, you've been busy, and you're going into fixing to fish also your 4th Bassmaster Classic. So what are you looking forward to the most, the Elite Series or the Classic, or just everything getting back to fishing?
Yeah, so actually it's my 5th Classic.
Okay.
We had 2 on Grand Lake, years ago, and then I fished the Birmingham Classic, and then last year at Ray Roberts. So. My best Classic was at Birmingham. I think I finished 9th. And so that was a blast. I was in the Super 6 and everything, and that was just a cool deal. But yeah, nothing compares to the Classic in my mind. I mean, it's just such a spectacle. So many fans there. Just an awesome event. I got family coming in from all over. So that's definitely going to be the highlight of the season, as usual. I'm just thankful to make it again. I mean, it's hard to qualify for the Classic, and I don't take it for granted. But yeah, being in Greenville, it's relatively close to home. I mean, I'm living in Salisbury, North Carolina now, so it's about a 3-hour drive from Salisbury. Then also from Knoxville, Tennessee, where my family lives, it's only about a 3.5 hour drive there too. So.
Perfect.
So yeah, we're going to have lots of support, lots of family and friends show up for that one. So hopefully I can catch them good there and put on a good show for everybody.
I think you're going to do great. I know your style of fishing, and you just seem so relaxed in the springtime, especially. To me, I think you're more of a springtime, cold weather, cold water angler. I've been watching you on the live, and give a little backstory to the listeners. Brandon and I met each other for the first time when I took the job in 2018 at Yozuri. He was on with the Prostaff there, and then I was fortunate enough to get hired by Yozuri. That got my start into the industry. And you and I think we became pretty good friends. And that's one of the things I noticed about you and your fishing is you always seem more relaxed in the springtime. Why is that? Can you dial in the fish better, or is it just more relaxing to you, or you're used to it, or?
I don't know. I mean, I would say spring and summer. I mean, I really like when they get offshore in the summertime when I can, find them on my side scan and then, get up there, with my 360 and catch them deep cranking and stuff. I love that. So that's kind of the summertime. That's post spawn, early summer.
Right.
And then, but yeah, kind of going back to what you were saying, cold water. I feel like I'm pretty decent at maximizing like an area. So if I can find an area, especially in the pre-spawn time of year where I know there's some fish, then I can just kind of hunker down in an area and figure out how to catch them. And so a lot of times when the water's cold, that's kind of what you have to do. You just have to just fish really slow, try different baits, different techniques, and just one or two good areas, and just try to milk it for all it's worth. And that's what I've done on some of my colder water tournaments where I've had success.
Right, right. So, well, that's really cool. And speaking of fishing in the early spring, the late winter, pre-spawn, one of the things that I've really found out about you and read about some of the blogs and posts that you've made is to downsize your lure. And one of the techniques that I picked up on several years ago that you like to do is to throw a little tungsten football head jig or even a 1/4 ounce tungsten football head jig on a spinning rod.
Mm-hmm.
What do you just feel like you're a lot more effective with that spinning rod, and just because it's a small tactical finesse presentation, or?
Yeah, so that's something that I started doing on actually on my home lake on Norse Lake. It's just
Okay.
a deep highland, clear reservoir, and just we actually have zebra mussels in that lake now, and so it just makes the water super clear. But there's a good crawfish population on that lake, and so I started messing around with just like little finesse jigs, light line. I throw it on like 10-pound Yozuri T7 fluorocarbon. I may even go down to 8-pound if I need to. But I feel like if I threw that jig on a bait caster, which I could still cast it far, I couldn't cast it as far. But if I threw it on a bait caster, I just feel like the stretch in that fluorocarbon, if I had just straight 10-pound fluorocarbon, I wouldn't be able to hook and land as many fish as I can with spinning tackle. Because spinning tackle, obviously have the braid to fluorocarbon, and my feel is just so much better. I can obviously get the hook in the fish better, land them. Now, obviously you could put braid on a bait caster and try to put a 10-pound leader, but that would be a little sketchy because with the bait caster, it's a little bit harder to dial in the drag. And so that's why you don't see that many people throwing braid to fluorocarbon leader as far as light line on a bait caster, just for the simple fact that dialing in that drag on a bait caster it's tough, especially when you're dealing with 10-pound line. So really, that's the main reason that I throw it on spinning tackle. But I'm surprised not more people do that because I can catch a lot of fish on that deal. It's a springtime deal, and countless key fish this past year on the Elite Series came from a direct result from that jig. And I'm actually working on a signature line of jigs with Advantage Bait Company. We started out trying to do a tungsten lineup, but the tungsten jig market is tough. You have to go, for the most part, you have to get your tungsten from Asia, and so we're still kind of working on the tungsten side of things. But just to go ahead and get my jigs out there, we're coming out with a lead version, but it's going to be called the Wild Card finesse jig. We're going to have the Wild Card football jig, and then we're going to have 2 flipping jigs. We're going to have one that's like for dock skipping. It's going to be called the skip and flip jig, and then we're going to also come out with a grass flipping jig. So we got four signature jigs coming out at the same time. I'm super proud of these jigs. We spent a lot of time. We've worked on them for basically almost a year now, and we really dialed them in. So everything about the head design, the hook, the weed guard, we've kind of left no stone unturned, as they say. And we got some pretty sweet jigs coming out soon. We're hoping to have them, here in the next month or two in stores. So we're kind of on the finishing touches of getting these jigs, ready to sell.
I got you. So then they'll be displayed at ICAST this year. That'll be a new product in the showcase.
Yeah, probably ICAST. If not ICAST, definitely, just next year at the Classic, he'll have a booth there and everything like that. We'll just have to see how everything goes. But we are hoping to start selling them at Rock Outdoors and some of our key vendors this spring.
Right. So, well, you just now mentioned Rock Outdoors, and that kind of led me to my next question. We get a lot of anglers, especially at Revital Outdoors. I've dealt with it my whole career. It's a great question, and especially being a new company to the outdoor industry, we get a lot of questions about how anglers can start approaching sponsors. And one of the things that I've always tried to lead anglers to do is to reach out to the local bait shops, reach out to their local area first before they branch out and try to get into the fishing industry or bigger non-endemic companies. So talk about your involvement in Rock Outdoors and just along the lines of how the local bait shops help the local anglers, and that could potentially turn into a sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah, it definitely does. The thing about Rock Outdoors, which helps me, and which helps me help them essentially, is that a lot of the brands that I'm affiliated with, they carry. So they're a Suzuki dealer, they're a Vexus dealer. They also have a nice Yozuri lineup, Yamamoto lineup, and then I got some Blackfish gear in there as well. And so that just kind of makes it easy for me to send people to Rock Outdoors because, the products that I use and that I believe in, they carry. And so it's just kind of a win-win situation for me, obviously. But yeah, going back to what you're saying for the local, tackle shop, local dealers, I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they're going back kind of for a while. Everybody was shopping online, and still a lot of people do. But there's kind of a resurgence, if you will, for people wanting to go to a local business, support the local business. They want to see the bays, they want to hold them. You know what I mean. And so that's kind of where I see the future is. You're going to see less people spending time online shopping, and they're going to just go to places like Rock Outdoors, and just where they can go see what they need, talk to a very knowledgeable staff there. And most of the guys fish. They can get a local fishing report while they're there. So it's just easy to kind of go there, get what you need, and have a successful day on the water. And so that's kind of what we offer there at Rock Outdoors. And that's kind of the deal throughout the country, even places in Knoxville that I remember. If you hadn't been on the water in a while, you stop by there. You ask them what's biting, and they can dial you in. So that definitely helps, and that's something that you just can't find online. You know what I mean?
Right. So that's really cool with the local knowledge, and you're right. Throughout the country, you've been exposed to it. I've been exposed to it. Other anglers as well. And I especially think this is crucial for anglers that are fishing like the BFL divisions. Like, let's say you got a guy from from Florida, who is fishing the Gator division, and he's going to qualify for that BFL regional up on Lake Murray. Maybe he's never been there. Maybe he's having a hard time figuring out some resources that he can find online with the fishing reports and all that. Go into the local bait shops, and I would even go further as to, spend $100 while you're in there. Give back to the local economy. That's why they're there. They depend on us, and they usually have really, really good selections. I know that I've seen some of your posts about Rock Outdoors, and not only do they have a Yozuri section and a Yamamoto section, they have the right colors, the right sizes. I mean, it's unbelievable some of the stuff you posted that they carry on their shelves.
Yeah, I mean they have pretty much every brand out there that's putting fish in the boat for people, they carry. So I mean, whether you're a Berkeley guy or a Zoom guy or any other brand rather, they're pretty much stocked up. So they know what fish, what the fishermen want, what the fish are biting, And yeah, that's definitely, it's a great resource right here at High Rock Lake. High Rock is a good lake, but it's kind of challenging. There's some big fish here, and it really shows out like in the tournaments, and you see a lot of big bags caught. But it's kind of a tough nut to crack a lot of times. So by swinging by there, talking to those guys, trying to figure out what's going on, that definitely helps for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, well, let's switch gears a little bit. You just completed your 10th year on the Bassmaster Elite Series, which is phenomenal. Congratulations to you. I remember your rookie season. One of my favorite memories from you, I was a freshman in college, was watching you at the Sabine River when you caught, I believe it was a 4 or 5 pounder, and you're putting it in the live well, and your rod just kind of doops back in the water, and you stood back up on your deck of your boat, and you're like, where did my rod go? I mean, it was just funny to me, and you were having so much fun, and your energy level was high, and that was really cool. But what was one of your favorite memories looking back on all your time on the Elite Series? And then once you get done answering that, what are some goals you still have for years to come in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that tournament you're talking about, the Sabine River, that was my sophomore year on tour. That was just one of those events that was just super fun because I found this pond on the back side of this culvert. That if you looked at the culvert, from the other side, you wouldn't think you could get a boat through there. And so in practice, when I was fishing in this little pocket, I saw this culvert there, and I was like, I skipped my jig up in there, and didn't catch any. And I was getting ready to leave, and I was like, there might be a chance I could get my boat through there. And so I just kind of nosed my boat in there, and like sure enough, I had about that much clearance on either side of the boat. I mean, it was pretty much scratching the rubber all the way in. But it was like a really long culvert. I mean, I would say it was probably, I'd say like 30 to 50 yards,
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah. So when you got in there, it was just it was dark. There was like spiders everywhere getting all in your boat. And so I pushed my way, I laid on the front deck of the boat and I pushed my way through that culvert and got to the other side, and it opened up into a pond. And I was like, man, this is kind of a cool deal. I don't think anybody else is going to find this place. And so I made like a hot pass around that pond and got several really good bites. And I was like, this may be good. Let's just hope nobody else finds it. And sure enough, I was the only one to fish that pond the whole entire tournament. Made it to day 4. Caught that 4.5 pounder on the final day. But yeah, it was just a fun event. Just finding that needle in the haystack area. It's that type of stuff doesn't happen very often, where you just run across this area that nobody else found, and you just have it all to yourself. And that was definitely a very memorable event. That 4.5 pounder actually got me caught up on this like little beaver lodge, and he was hung up, and so I actually had to you can't go in the water. Bassmaster rules, you have to be in the boat. But basically, half of my body was under the water, and the other half was on the boat, and I was down there, filling around in this beaver lodge, and I finally pulled that fish out of there. So,
Wow.
lots of cool memories there. But as far as goals, obviously, winning, winning the Bassmaster Classic, winning the Angler of the Year, winning just a regular season Bassmaster Elite event. Those are all goals, that I set for myself every year. So still gunning for my first big win. I've had a couple of close calls, but that's fishing. It's like there's some guys that fish 10 or 15, 20 years, and they have all these top 10s and they never get a win. And then there's some guys in their first top 10 they ever, qualify for it, then they get a win. Mm-hmm. And so you never know when your first win is going to come. You never know when your last one's going to come. But I'm just going to stay positive, keep fishing. And, if it's meant to be for me to win this year, then I'll win. If not, we'll just we'll keep our head up and we'll just keep having fun. And, that's really the main thing on the water is, if you're out there having fun, enjoying what you're doing, not putting too much pressure on yourself, good things happen. And so if you just, trust your instincts, trust your knowledge, and just keep a good positive attitude, that goes a long way in fishing, whether you're fun fishing or whether you're, competing in the Bassmaster Classic.
Correct. And you said it well. Right there. You got to have fun. You can't let some of the exterior variables dictate how you're fishing. I know a lot of guys go out there and they worry about what everybody else is maybe doing. Are they going to be on their spots? They're worried too much about the weather. Those are all things that none of us can control. So focus on having fun. And at the end of the day, and I tell people this all the time, we're still out here to have to go fishing and have fun. And that's what fishing is meant to be. Yeah, it's a tournament. There's a lot of stress involved. There's a lot of money tied up in it, but we're still out here going fishing, and it was created for us to have fun. So, and I can tell you that after watching the live, several hours watching you on live, there's two things I've really kind of picked up on you in the last couple of years is you're getting dialed into, you're very consistent. And I think that's just a key to ended up, winning a tournament or even winning the Classic is the angler that seems to do really well and you see consistently winning is he's consistent. So you're getting there. So I think a win's on your horizon. I hope it's this year for you. I mean, you're very well deserving. And the other thing is you're just having fun. You're just Brandon having fun out there. You're never different on camera than when you are off camera.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, that's something that I really tried to do the last several years is just to bring the fun back into fishing. There for a few years, I think I got caught up in, the results and, maybe not getting a win. I was focusing too much on that and just putting really too much pressure and stress on myself. And, that kind of took a lot of the fun out of it. And so, I was able to take a step back, especially after my 2018 season. That was kind of a low point for me. It was the worst year of my career. And, I had to change what I was doing. And so, bringing positivity back into it and just bringing the fun back into it, that really went a long way. And then just, a few other things as far as just, I've been able to focus more on a game plan for each and every day. It's like I start out the day with the game plan. I got a plan A, plan B, and kind of have the day laid out in my mind before it ever even starts. That has helped a lot too. I used to just fish on the fly all the time, just kind of, just wherever I wanted to go at that time, I would do it. And that bit me in the butt a lot. On a local scene, you can do that because you're so familiar with the local lake. You can just kind of freestyle it and just make it up as you go. And, at the end of the day, it works out. But for a body of water that you're not familiar with, which most of the places we go to on the Elite Series, I'll show up. We got 3 practice days and we got to, put together something. For those, my success is way better when I have a game plan kind of, lined up. Obviously, if somebody's, where you want to fish, then you have to go to plan B. If somebody's there, go to plan C. But still, just like, having everything kind of laid out before the day even starts, that has helped me a lot. Maybe that's not for everybody, but that definitely has helped me a lot. Just to be able to just stay focused and just execute, what I have to do for that day, essentially.
Right. Correct. So, well, then let's kind of wrap things up and shift gears. You got a lot of great sponsors. You've represented a lot of great companies over the years. Some of them are still with you from the beginning, and that's awesome. Let's talk about Revital Outdoors. And obviously, we're a new company. We're a premium CBD company for outdoor enthusiasts. We serve all hunting and fishing enthusiasts. It's a great product, but talk to us about the products that you use coming on board with Revital and some of the results that you've seen from them.
Yeah, I've struggled with just neck issues most of my life. I can remember I think it was as early as elementary school, going to see a chiropractor for just always had just chronic issues, and it would be from my neck all the way down to my shoulders. And so what always made it worse was fishing. Because all the other sports that I played growing up, basketball, cross country, they kind of loosen you up. You're using lots of different muscles.
Right.
But fishing, you're kind of, I'm trying to show here, but you're kind of holding your rod still, you're reeling. And so it's like you're not moving naturally. You're kind of in an unnatural position. Your shoulders are forward. And so that really, adds to the discomfort. And so, I've been in and out of chiropractors, like I said, most of my life. I do stretching all the time. But for years now, I guess, well, this is going to be the start of my 11th year on the Elite Series. I really had to rely on a lot of ibuprofen just to kind of get through the pain, especially in tournament weeks. And so, obviously, I'm like you. I don't want to be taking something, that may have side effects, stuff like that. So, that's why I've just kind of been looking for more of a natural way of, helping with the chronic neck issues that I've had. And so, just trying the CBD cream that you sent me, way before we did the sponsorship deal, just as a friend, you sent me the CBD cream. You told me to try it and see what I thought, and man, it really did help a lot. And I was impressed. Just being able to just have a topical cream that I could use. Obviously, we have the CBD gummies and the CBD capsules, and that's great for a lot of people. But I really wanted like a topical treatment, and this is by far the best topical stuff that I've ever used. Last night I was actually doing tax stuff last night, and I was doing a lot of, computer desk work stuff, filling out some 1099s, and I started to get a cramp right here in my neck, and I was just like, I don't want this to turn into, one of those flare ups where it hurts for 2 or 3 or 4 days, and I'm getting ready to leave, for a Bassmaster Elite event on Friday. And so last night I put that cream, right there where it was hurting, went to bed, and woke up this morning, and I feel a whole lot better. So it helps me a lot. I mean, it really does. I love the topical cream, obviously, like I said. But then, I mean, we got all kinds of other products too. During the tournament weeks, it's hard to kind of settle down, especially at night after rig and tackle, and you got this game plan going, and then you have to go to sleep because you're getting up at 4 a.m. So I'm definitely going to be using the melatonin, putting that to use. That'll definitely help me sleep a little bit better at night, wake up more refreshed and ready to go. So those are the two products that really kind of work for me. But yeah, we got all kinds of other good stuff. I'm sure you probably use some other stuff that I don't use.
Right. I take the everyday soft gels in the morning. It's kind of replaced ibuprofen for me. It's just more of a, working out, fishing, being active, everything that I'm doing. It's just a great way to feel better throughout the day. I'm also a user of the cream. So I grew up in the contracting world. You and I have talked about that. I know your dad's a contractor himself. So, after years of doing that, your wrists, your ankles, they tend to cramp up and feel very uncomfortable after a day on the water. And then I'm a firm believer in the melatonin, CBD soft gels. Those have been a godsend for me coming on board. But then, and I know I sent some to Buster, so I have to ask, the dog chews, even though I don't have a dog right now, it's been for all my buddies back in Oklahoma and Arkansas that have bird dogs, phenomenal reports about helping them with being gun shy or 4th of July firework anxiety or separation anxiety. I hope Buster's tried them, and that seems to be a really good hit too, for sure. Because outdoor enthusiasts, they all own dogs.
Oh yeah, they're definitely Buster approved for sure. He's all about any little snack he can get. But yeah, he gobbled them up for sure. He's a great dog. I take him fishing all the time. I actually take him to a lot of the pre-practice trips that I take. It's just me and him, So he spends the whole day out there with me on the boat. So I have a lot of fun with him. But yeah, that's cool. Obviously I'm not a hunter, so don't have to worry about Buster being gun shy. But I could definitely see where that would help. Especially when you're training a dog, they don't understand what a gunshot is and stuff. Actually, my cousin down in Georgia, he's a full-time dog trainer. He trains hunting dogs, so I definitely need to send him some and let him try them on the dogs that he's training, and I'm sure that would help a lot.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because you're right. In a lot of the training, there is a lot of anxiety in the pups and the younger dogs. So, well, Brandon, it's been great having you on board. I know you're getting ready to go to your first Elite Series event down here in Florida, so I'll let you get back to the busy things that you are doing. But one last thing, I just want to give you one last opportunity for you to thank any of your sponsors, friends, family who supports Brandon Card, and how are you able to be out here every year on the Elite Series?
Yeah, got, as you kind of alluded to, got lots of really great sponsors that have just came on board with me years ago. A lot of them I actually view more as like family and friends than an actual sponsor. I've been with them so long. Companies like Suzuki, obviously been with them now for 10 years. They're awesome people. They make great products, one heck of an outboard motor. So I can't say enough good things about those guys. Yozuri, Yamamoto, just super fortunate to be partnered with these great companies. And then the last few years, obviously, came on board with Vexus. They make one heck of a bass boat, super smooth, the smoothest bass boat I've ever owned. And then Rock Outdoors, obviously, like we mentioned, they carry all these brands. And Blackfish Gear, they're a new clothing company from Minnesota that makes some awesome, cold weather gear, rain gear, and then obviously, some awesome warm weather gear as well. So, there's a lot more. I don't want to bore you with all of my sponsors, but just trying to hit the high points there. But yeah, I appreciate you, appreciate your friendship first and foremost, but definitely for thinking about me, with my neck pain like I've been having, that this has really helped out a lot. And just super pumped to just tell people about Revital Outdoors and just help them with any issues that they may have, any ailments. Definitely if you can live a healthier life and not have any issues, especially physical issues, that definitely makes time on the water a lot more enjoyable, and definitely keeps a smile on your face and lets you do it a lot more, obviously.
For sure. So, well, Brandon, it's been an honor to have you on our podcast. For all the listeners out there, make sure you're following Brandon Card on Facebook and Instagram. Great young angler. You and I've been friends, but you're just a great ambassador for the sport. What you do for the high school and college guys, and how you represent yourself professionally, and the things that you put together as an angler outside of being on the water are just absolutely phenomenal. And so, yeah, you're a great person to look up to, a great idol to commend off. So, yeah, make sure you're following Brandon Card on all of his social media, and then root for him in the Bassmaster Elite Series this year and the Bassmaster Classic. So Revital Outdoors will be at the Classic. Brandon, I have to say, as much as good friends as we are, I hope I don't see you in the booth, because that means things are going well for you in the Classic. So, but I'm sure we'll definitely see Kelly and your mom and dad. They're always great people to talk to and catch up with, and we'll be cheering you on at the Bassmaster Classic this year in Greenville. We're about, I guess, 5 weeks away.
Yeah, it's coming up quick, and definitely I'll get Baby Boy to swing by, and you can meet him as well. Little Davis Card. He's going to be the Bassmaster Classic champion here in about 20 years. So keep an eye out for that name.
Will he be beating Dad though?
Do what?
Will he be beating Dad though?
Oh yeah. He's going to be better than me for sure. So he's got to like fishing. If he doesn't like fishing, we're going to have issues. So it's going to be all good.
Yeah. So fishing and Tennessee basketball.
Well, UK basketball.
I had to throw that in there.
So yeah, I mean, I'm a Wildcat. I mean, I went to University of Kentucky, but I grew up, just right up the road from University of Tennessee. So I kind of bleed blue and orange, if that's even possible. I know the Tennessee fans are cussing me right now, and I'm sure some of the UK fans are too. But it's hard to choose which team to pull for, because you got UT that I grew up, rooting for, and then UK. Obviously, they're my alma mater. So it's it's kind of a toss of the coin. Now, when they play each other, I got to give the nod to the Big Blue when they play each other.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And honestly, not getting into sports too much, but like you can't argue with Kentucky's basketball team. One of the most. I mean, if you think about college basketball, you think about Duke, you think about Kansas, you think about Baylor, and you always got to think about Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
They always say that they pretty much only play one sport up there. It's the ball has to be round. It can't be elongated. Obviously, the football program has struggled, but they've actually been doing a little bit better this past few years. It's a lot of fun watching them, and man, we fish so much, anymore. It's hard to keep up with sports, but yeah, it's always fun to watch March Madness and kind of get cranked up, which that's obviously right around the corner too. So.
Oh, for sure. So, well, Brandon, good luck this season, man, and we're proud to have you on board with Revital Outdoors. And anything we can do to help your career, please let us know. But then we just appreciate you having on with this podcast, and we hope to be hearing from you soon because. Having you back on means that you've had some success on the Elite Series, and we want to follow that and make sure that we can dissect it a little bit the best we can and hear about the techniques and tactics that Brandon Card uses to be successful.
Yeah, that sounds good there, and I sure appreciate it, and we'll check you guys on the next one.
All right, bud. We'll have a good week, and we will talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
Yep. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up another exciting podcast. Again, that was Bassmaster Elite Series angler and Revital Outdoors Prostaff angler Brandon Card. He's now living in North Carolina, and we're super fortunate to have him on board, and we'll be rooting for him this coming Bassmaster Classic. Don't want to jinx the guy, but there's something to do out there with becoming a brand new dad and that luck transferring to becoming a Bassmaster Classic champion. So we hope that definitely is in his cards this year at Lake Hartwell for the Bassmaster Classic. So make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. That's going to be Facebook and Instagram. We have tons of content that we're putting out right now. We're coming upon the tournament season, so we're putting together a lot of podcasts on our YouTube channel and then relating that to all of our content that we're posting on our Facebook and our Instagram. So make sure you're following us there. Again, if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, check us out on our website, www.revitaloutdoors.com. We're a premium CBD company. We have all of the education behind our product and what we offer to outdoor enthusiasts and how it can help outdoor enthusiasts on our website. Just as a reminder, we are a THC-free brand, and we're made right here in America. All of our products are American-made, so we're very proud of that. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, I'm Theron Asbury. Have a great week. Be safe out there. God bless, and we will talk to you soon.